Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, the human rights abuses of the Mallam Buhari regime is getting to the point where I would not be surprised if they end up in The Hague in the Netherlands in front of the International Human Rights Commission. Such is the level of abuse that these people are dishing out on the 200 million odd Nigerian population. So with that guys, I bring you this. Dasuki appeal court vacates stringent bail conditions granted former NSA. So that's the headline. Dasuki appeal court vacates stringent bail conditions granted former NSA. So now let's see now what the latest development is in this never-ending Dasuki story. The appeal court in Abuja has on Friday, November the 22nd, vacated stringent bail conditions earlier granted to former National Security Advisor NSA, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, retired. According to PM News, the court agreed to Dasuki's request for a variation in the terms attached to the bail earlier granted him. Consequently, the three-man panel of the court expunged the requirement that Dasuki produced a level 16 civil servant who must own a property worth 100 million within the Federal Capital Territory FCT. Justice Stephen Adar, in the lead judgment, said it was wrong for courts to ask a civil servant to stand as surety when bail was being granted. Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu granted Dasuki 200 million bail with two sureties. So that name recalls again Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu. You will recall, of course, that Igbo judge that put those stringent conditions on Sowore. So of course now this is now a running theme with this woman. So of course now what is now emerging is that this is their go-to woman whenever they want to detain somebody using the instrumentalities of the law. They go to this Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu to set a bail condition so stringent that even Dangote would not be able to meet it, and they will say, okay, we have gone to court and he cannot meet his bail conditions. So you're asking a civil servant to have 100 million naira worth of house in Abuja so that when he steps forward, you will then arrest him to say, where did you get the money from? So a catch-22 bail condition set by Ijeoma Ojukwu as usual, but we carry on. Colonel Sambo Dasuki, retired, had been on trial for alleged diversion of funds meant for procurement of arms to combat the Boko Haram menace to the 2015 campaign of the then ruling People's Democratic Party (PDP). The bail granted was the sixth one granted him since his trial commenced. The Director General of the Department of State Services (DSS) and Attorney General of the Federation (AGF) were mentioned as respondents in the suit. So now here you have Dasuki again being granted yet another bail. So this, according to this report, is now the sixth time that the court has now asked them to release this guy. And not only the courts in Nigeria, the court in ECOWAS as well are saying, look, we have no reason to hold on to this guy, so please release him. But of course, that's just falling on deaf ears, and we know that this will fall on deaf ears too, because we see Sowore, who doesn't even have an immediate relationship with Buhari, being held in such a manner outside of the law just for calling Buhari an analog brain, which we all think he is. So for calling Buhari an analog brain during the election, they have now said he has abused the president, and for demanding for good governance, for asking people to come and protest for good governance, they are now saying that is treasonable felony, and they are going to hold this guy for life. So now Colonel Sambo Dasuki, who detained Buhari during the Babangida coup, what more fate will befall him when he has an immediate impact on Buhari's life? And we all know how vindictive a man Buhari is. Conversations in the comment section. Colonel Sambo Dasuki has been granted yet another bail, but then of course that's just something for the papers, really. That's just something for the noisemakers on social media and for the newspapers to report. That guy is not going anywhere for as long as Buhari is the president of Nigeria. I think we are all agreed on that position. But come tell me what your thoughts are, this abuse of human rights and this sort of operating outside side of the law? Is it now time, or do you now see a time that will come when a Nigerian person or a Nigerian institution will drag the Buhari regime in front of the Human Rights Commission in The Hague? Because I can see that this is the pathway that is embarked on. Whatever your thoughts are, come share them with me in the comment section. But before you do this, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you are making of this goings on in Nigeria in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Join me in the comment section. But here I say peace.